For us, I mean, we're all sitting on this ChatGPT and Perplexity and Claude and so on and so forth. DeepSeek did something interesting, right? Okay. And being an engineer at heart, I was quite impressed by it, because what they did was, as engineers, they trimmed down the algorithmic activities, resulting in a reduction in the computation requirements. Yes, we know they also use ChatGPT to do the training, so on and so forth. But what that suggests is that there may even be potential weaknesses, not weaknesses, opportunities in the way you do the Gen AI training. So we all know that when you get an algorithm function and it gives the results and you want to commercialize it, you go down that path. You don't spend so much time optimizing it. We all know the distinction between Unix and Microsoft in the early days, the security of Unix versus the security of Microsoft, yet the success was actually Microsoft, not Unix. And I wonder whether there is more opportunities here for developing world or for countries who don't have the immense resources of the developed countries to buy those GPUs and TPUs, so on and so forth, to then go visit the algorithm and do it in a way that may not be as good as ChatGPT, but then be good enough such that you and I as a new user will want that.
I think that's a great point. For those countries that don't have the resources and they want to solve AI problems that are not really complex, that don't require a lot of compute power, then adopting something like DeepSeek and playing around with it with, let's say, third or fourth generational GPUs or TPUs, and I think that makes perfect sense. They should be encouraged to actually do that. However, I want to make the point, there is a certain method of thinking within the Silicon Valley, which is that if we use brute force in terms of increasing compute power, increasing the amount of data, writing sophisticated algorithms,
Absolutely.
right, and then supplying a limited amount of energy, we should be able to reach AGI very, very quickly. Related to this is that you don't find many guardrails or, let's say, many controls, because the whole idea is to get to AGI ASAP. Hence, innovation becomes stymied, becomes a secondary thought. Innovation is actually sacrifice. However, if you impose chip controls on an adversary or someone else, then you find that they become much more innovative.
Absolutely.